Hey, what's up guys, it's ElasticSpyder here, and in today's video we are looking at yet another community replay. And in this replay we are looking at some beautiful Henri gameplay. Before we get too into the replay, I do want to mention how you guys can send in a community replay to us. Obviously you are going to need a replay, so send a replay and the screenshots as well, preferably all 4 of them, to BIAworldofwarships@gmail.com. Like I said, please include the replay itself as well as the screenshots and a short description of what occurred throughout the battle. So I thank you all so much. We actually got quite a few replay submissions this week, and I do really thank you guys for the support that you guys give to us on a constant basis. So I really do appreciate that, and I hope to see more replays in the future. Now, with that being said, there's some things that I need to talk about first. Before I get too into this replay, I just want to get it out there. As you guys may have noticed, that we at BIA World of Warships have been rather absent, I guess you could say. And this is not something that we really like to have happen. Of course, we want to be putting out videos when we say we put them out, and obviously I'm sure you guys expect us to do that too, and rightly so, right? I just do want to apologize right up front for not being able to get any replays this week. I know myself, I work, not to make excuses or anything, but I mean, I work close to 40 hours a week and then go to school full time. And then I try and get streaming it here and there, and as well as making YouTube videos for you guys. And I know you guys really do a lot, like them a lot. But I just want to put that out there, kind of get my situation out of the way. And Sticky is pretty similar. I'm sure he's working a lot. He's doing King of the Sea, both playing and managing that as well. And he's going to school full-time as well. Obviously, Puddin has a full-time job. He needs to take care of his family as well. So, not giving any excuses, but I hope you guys can maybe kind of understand our situation and maybe help us. There's no way to put it. It's going to sound like an excuse either way I put it. But I hope you guys at least are able to understand that sometimes life gets in the way of making YouTube videos, and while this is a video game and we all love watching World of Warships content, and I mean we enjoy making it as well, you know, sometimes IRL stuff, real life stuff has to come and be a priority. So but I do thank you guys so much for your continued support, even though we haven't put up a single video this week, and this is the first video you guys are watching. So with that out of the way, and I hope we will either get a new schedule going or modify our current schedule so that we can actually get regular videos out on a more consistent basis for you guys. But now with that out of the way, let's get into the replay. So we are playing in Henri for the Tier 10 French, pretty heavy cruiser, I would say. It could be mistaken for honestly a battle cruiser of sorts with 240mm guns, the highest guns for a cruiser minus a Stalingrad for a cruiser at Tier 10. And this allows for some great HE salvos, great AP salvos, and very nice fire chance, as well as some great HE alpha damage. And actually in the replay here, Doyl, who's playing with Soulcat, part of the Rush B clan, the Soulcat is playing in his Republic, and Henri is playing in his Tier 10 French cruiser, because he actually was kind enough to include his build. I think this is a very solid build also. So his build is Priority Target, Expert Loader, Adrenaline Rush, Superintendent, IFHE, and Concealment Expert. So not quite a fully spec'd captain. Let's see, that's 8 plus 3 plus 2, that's 13. So this is looking like a 15, maybe 16 point captain, if my math is correct. So that's it's a pretty I mean, it's a solid captain nonetheless, but you can certainly get away with it, and we can kind of see that high alpha HE as well as that that IF HE, allowing us to get good pens on that Conqueror. And we end up getting another fire on him, and we're only not even 5 minutes into the battle, and a little over 5 minutes, excuse me, and we're already up to 72k damage, and still going. So I would say that's a pretty good on rebuild. Honestly, I couldn't pick anything else to better that. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could slap on something like AFT and have actually pretty good AA. Sometimes 5.2 kilometers might not be enough for a lot of people. And so, you know, that's always an option too, especially if you want to be a little bit more dynamic. Now, I don't actually know if we'll have to wait and see to see if Doyl has stopped shooting. It looks like he is running reload mod. I can't really tell at the moment because I don't know Henri's base reload if he is actually running the legendary mod. Let's see here. His range is, I can't even see it. Where we're, looks like it's 19.1. I don't think he's running legendary mod. If he is, well, congrats. I personally don't really like the legendary mod too much on Henri. I know some people really like it because basically what it does is it gives you better reload. It gives you slightly less range, and I think slightly less, or excuse me, more range, less attackability. So you become more of a great kiter and that sort of thing. So, and I think the ship is built enough like a kiter already that I don't think it's necessary to amplify that even more. Obviously, you do get some benefits with the, I believe, the faster reload, but just having concealment that is just completely and utterly trash is just, it's not fun for a cruiser. And even though you are a heavy or an extra heavy cruiser, I'm putting that in air quotes, I know you guys can't see that, but extra heavy cruiser, you still don't have the armor of something like a battleship, and battleships will punish you all day long. As my controller falls off the table. So it looks like Doyl's team has just basically thrown. Their DDs have been, well, pretty trash, to be honest. I mean, we've got one DD that died right here. We've got another that died here. I don't know if this is our DD or their DD, but nonetheless, 3 of our DDs are dead. 2 of theirs are still alive, and the 2 that are alive are Cossack, which is a very nice DD, especially at tier 8, but against tier 10s, it's debatable on how effective that ship can be. And then a Kitakaze that can just rain down on pretty much anyone, and I think the Kitakaze is at D right now. But here we go. So this is what the Henri is supposedly made of. It's supposedly made of being able to punish people that go broadside like this Iowa. However, let's see if we can punish him. Oh, he's on 1900 health, and the Republic finishes him off. Now, and this is part of the problem with the Henri. If you're in like maybe a Des Moines, let's say here you could maybe risk this turn and get out of dodge, or wholesale you could that whole engagement wouldn't have been engaged because you could have used concealment. With Henri, you couldn't do that because the concealment is so poor. But seeing that the Conqueror is turning away and doesn't want any part of capturing B, well, we're just going to pelt some AP into him, and we managed to get a wither there as well, and 162k damage in the first 9 minutes of the game, and holy cow, we are going crazy. And then not too long ago, Wargaming decided to put in a reload booster to try and differ up the gameplay of the Henri a little bit, which, I mean, granted, that's a fair argument, but adding a main battery reload booster, I'm not sure how, if that was really a good idea. And unfortunately, Doyl doesn't actually get much out of it. He does get some nice HE salvos, but rather than in terms of fires, he's kind of lacking. There's our fire, though. The Conqueror, it looked like he already burned his heel. maybe prematurely, and I think he did burn his damage control maybe like 45 seconds ago, so he should be able to be getting killed here in a second. And this Iowa, oh boy, I could definitely see switching to AP here on this broadside Iowa. I wouldn't be surprised getting very nice pens here. Obviously, we do want to get the fire though first. I think that is also something to increase your damage in the Henri, is getting a fire on one target and moving on to the next. You know, that's not always the most optimal case, but I think Doyl is doing a very nice job here of that, kind of spreading the damage out. And as you can see there, oh my gosh, that IFHE and just the very big caliber shells of the Henri are doing some massive damage to those enemy battleships. And here I would honestly say, I hope your Republic buddy is turning out or thinking about it. It looks like you are taking all the fire. However, it's looking good for your team though. While the motto is camping in the back, B9 as usual. The rest of your team has decent positions, and in terms of caps, you are looking actually quite well. But this Zhao is going to be a big problem, constantly going to be spotting you. So unless you take him out, this is not going to look good. You're going to be forced to kite and take on a full health Yamato. Now, I can't criticize Doyl too much here because he can only angle to so many people. My god, the 8K HE salvos, that is incredible. But yes, that is perfect. As soon as that Zhao, every time he shoots, you have to open up on him. And we end up killing the Iowas. Just about to say you should be focusing the Iowa if and when you can, but I think Doyl had better situational awareness there than I did for him to be able to recognize that the Iowa was actually going to burn out. So very nice play there, focusing the Zhao still, who I don't know why he is still shooting, and this is something that the Henri can do decently well. I wouldn't say I would recommend it necessarily, but you can kind of just sit with your ass pointed toward the enemy, kind of stop and go forward and backwards here and there, and then kind of play with your speed. It does help if you have speed boost enabled. Unfortunately, Doyl does not have that here, but it does help to kind of throw your opponents off, because it's always, at least for me, and I'm a relatively experienced player, having 8,500 battles played, that still throws me off, and it still throws some of the best players in the game off too. Just that slight change of pace, that slight jerk, it always throws people off. And I think that you know, utilizing that is a very nice thing to do. And here the Zhao is showing a good amount of broadside. Maybe should have had AP loaded, but why would you have AP loaded and risk the chance of a bounce when you can just do a 6K salvo with HE? And here we go. There's our ship that Zhao killed. It was a nice job holding that fire off until the very last second, just in case that Zhao actually did shoot a salvo off. And honestly, you do have to be careful though at these ranges and at these times, at this low health too. You have to be careful of that. So it does appear 14.1. That doesn't sound like standard Henri. Doesn't sound like standard Henri. How do I say this? Concealment. So I do think that Doyl here is running the legendary mod. Again, actually, Doyl, if you do watch this, let me know. Let me know down in the comment section. But my goodness, 278,000 damage. That is insane thus far. And I think what we're going to do now, we're gonna wait for our hopefully another heal, and hopefully we don't get spotted, but we do. So there's only a few ships left. It's a 3v4 at the moment. We know the Hindenburg is not in B, so that's probably the Cleveland that's in B, which that could be a big problem. In a second here, let's see if the Worcester will be able to kill that Hindenburg. It's not looking likely. Hindenburg has torps, and unless nope, I'm not even gonna say it. So Cleveland versus Henri. 10k versus 10k. Well, we'll see. I think switching to HE here is a good move. I don't know if using the reload booster is, though. We'll have to wait and see. I think I honestly maybe would have waited to use it for the Yamato, but we'll see if that actually is a good choice. Obviously, tensions are raising, anxiety is up, and you have to be very careful in every action that you do. And I think Doyl's playing this very well here. 49 HP, and the Yamato is just right around the corner. I would honestly pop that defensive fire, try and get that plane killed as fast as possible. Looks like we didn't actually need it, because that plane actually went down, it looks like. I actually don't know what happened to it. But proxy... Oh, wow. That's not actually proxy spot. That's... that island is too short spot. So let's see if we can't get this Yamato killed. Looks like he is backing up. And honestly, at this range, I would just aim for the rear citadel right here. And next time he zooms in, I'll pause it. Oh, that's not pause. So we do land some torps, and it looks like this guy's actually AFK. How do I pause it? I'll slow it down. So ideally you want to be shooting here, not here, but earlier, I'll show you. Earlier, basically you want to be shooting right here, so that you penetrate the rear part of the ship, which is usually about, I think it's 32 millimeters. That'll go through very easily, and then you only have to get through a lot less armor than a main belt. So for a big tip here, always shoot in the rear of this, and if you don't pen the citadel, you'll get full AP pen damage, guaranteed, as long as you don't bounce. So just a little tip there. I think Doyl knows that here, and he is, I mean, look at this. And at this range, you can get citadels, even with the strong main belt of the Yamato. And we actually get a Confederate 4-goal hull. Oh my gosh, there's too many. High caliber, wither, arsonist, and yeah, wow. A bit lucky there, though. The Yamato was actually AFK. Unfortunately, the Yamato will actually go down, and I think the Yamato will go down. Either way, we're actually not going to be able to come back from this, even if the Yamato is on the cap. And we can see here that it's just too late. With only 2.5 minutes late, it's just too late. It's going to be unfortunate here for Doyl, because this was a still game. Alright, so the post-battle results. 367k, we ended up with 12k XP, nearly 700,000 credits, Wither, 4-goal haul. Oh, that's a tongue twister. Arsonist, Confederate, Dreadnought, and High Caliber as well. 282 shell hits, 3 torpedo hits, 4 ships killed, very close to a what is that? The Kraken Unleashed. 14 fires, 6 citadels, 8 base defense, which is quite high for a cruiser of the French type. I guess usually they're running away, so I guess actually maybe it's not that high. 1 assisted base capture and 3 ships spotted. Very nice game overall, and I do think, according to Doyl, I haven't actually checked up on this, but I'll take him at his word. At the time of him sending in this replay, it was actually, this is the server record for, the NA server record for damage for the Henri 4, and, well, you can, I hope you guys can kind of see why. 2310 base XP. The enemy Kitakaze actually did phenomenal as well. 2342 before a loss. 2310. That's well over. That's probably well over 4k base XP, or if not, very very close to it. And Soulcat in the Republic, while he did go down a little bit earlier than I'm sure he anticipated, he still did quite well for a loss. And then the detailed report. Almost a double wither, a 10k off that, and well, most of our damage was high explosive, but we did get some nice AP usage, especially on the Yamato. And I would also like to add that when you do shoot AP, always go for that upper armory belt, especially at ranges from like 10 to I mean, even when you're closer, but even at like ranges of 15 kilometers, you can still get very nice pens on battleships and even cruisers. You can get very nice citadels on cruisers, even at tier 10, with those 240mm guns. They really do pack a punch. So I hope you guys enjoyed this community replay. If you did, please leave a like, a comment, and I do apologize for us not being able to push videos out this week, but hopefully we can get that situated, and so you guys can always come back for new videos on the days we say that we're going to post them. So I hope that we're able to get that figured out, and I hope you have a wonderful day, guys. So yeah, take care, have a good one, bye-bye.